So one thing that I, believe it or not, bring up at my first visit with families, and people sometimes laugh at me because our logo at Duke is "At Duke There Is Hope." But I know that even if you survive your tumor and you live till you're 97 years old, that your kids are still worried that you might die today. That is still in their thoughts. So whether that's a reality for someone who has a brain tumor, or whether you're a long-term survivor, your kids are still worried about that. And so it's still worth addressing those questions, not because you're preparing them for the inevitable, because we don't know that that's inevitable, but because you know that it's a worry that they are very likely, not definitely, but very likely dealing with in the present. And so on my handout, how do I say that I created, I go over, there's a little paragraph on how to explain diagnosis and how to explain treatment, and then questions kids ask. And I just put it right out there. Are you going to die from this tumor? And the answer that you can give for a good long while is people can die from brain tumors. People can also live years and years and even a full, long lifetime when they've had a brain tumor. I'm going to take my medicines. I'm going to go for my checkups. I'm going to do what the doctors tell me to do. And I promise I will always tell you the truth about how that's going. Because we don't know how it's going to go for you. You don't, if you have a serious tumor with such and such a statistic, I would never tell that to a child, because you may blow that statistic out of the water, and then your child's going to be sitting there waiting for you to die, when you may not. Conversely, kids may come to you and say, somebody at school said that people who have brain tumors only live this much time. And then you can say, that's true for some people, it's not true for everybody. I promise I'll always tell you how my checkups are going. I'm not dying now. But if the disease progresses, it's time for a new medicine. And if the disease progresses, and it's time for a new medicine, and if the disease progresses, and it's time for a new medicine, and you get to where, as the adults, you kind of know you've got one or two more things to try, and then it's looking not so good. That's where I say kids do best, and I'm talking again in general, and you need to think about your child's specific personality, but you need to think about how kids move best from death is possible to death is probable, but there's still hope, to death is imminent or likely or going to happen. And that progression, possible, probable, definite, is very fluid based on ages, but it's an important thing to kind of file away. So if they ask questions, you can answer them based on that progression. You know, if you're in the possible category, you're still doing great. You don't need to be answering questions like you're in the imminent category. It's not going to be helpful to them. And at the same time, if you've had multiple progressions and things aren't growing well, if you just flat out say, I'm not going to die, I'm going to be fine, your kids, I bet most of you would tell me your kids are pretty bright and pretty intuitive, and it's going to be hard for them to believe that. So try to finding that middle ground where you're honest but hopeful, sort of all along the way. And that's another sort of what I call a touch point, another time when I have a lot of contact with families who choose to use my services.